Hey guys, today we'll be talking about one of the least popular things that John Adams did during his presidency, and that is sign into law the Alien and Sedition Acts. These are the questions you should be able to answer by the end of this video. So the Alien and Sedition Acts were a set of 4 laws passed in Congress by the Federalists and signed by Adams. The laws came into existence because conflict with France had led many Americans to fear foreigners, and also because Federalists wanted to shield themselves from the criticism of political opponents. So the Alien Acts were actually 3 of the 4 acts, and the main things they did is they made it easier for the president to kick foreigners out of the country, and it made it harder for people to become U.S. citizens. This is because America thought they were going to go to war in Europe, and they were afraid that Europeans were in America trying to do bad things to hurt the country. The Sedition Acts made it illegal for people to criticize the government. So this meant that if you said, I think John Adams is stupid, you could go to jail for that. This is obviously in violation of the First Amendment, but Congress passed this law anyway, and it went into effect when Adams signed it. Today what would happen is the Supreme Court would probably strike down this law, but it did not happen yet. The Supreme Court was not yet used to using its power of judicial review to strike down laws in such a way. So the Sedition Acts go into effect, and people start being put in jail when they say things like the Federalists don't know what they're doing, or John Adams is dumb. So in response to these laws, which were obviously unconstitutional because they directly violated the First Amendment, a couple states, Virginia and Kentucky, decide to go against the laws. And they do this by claiming that these laws are unconstitutional, and therefore that the states may nullify these laws. To nullify something means simply to cancel something out. So what this means in practice is that in Virginia and Kentucky, if you break one of the laws, for example, if you say John Adams is stupid, you're technically breaking the law, but nobody in Virginia or Kentucky is going to arrest you. And so this logic of nullifying an unconstitutional law is really important, mostly because it's the same kind of logic that eventually leads to the Civil War. The southern states are worried that the northern states are going to try and take slavery away from them, and they try to nullify certain aspects of the federal government because they claim that it's unconstitutional to violate the southern states' right to own property, aka slaves. But so this sets an important example that will come up later in American history in a big way. But this time around, no other states follow the example of Kentucky and Virginia. And so the Alien and Sedition Acts stay in effect until Thomas Jefferson becomes president in 1800. But no other states choose to follow Kentucky or Virginia's example, and they decide to enforce the Alien and Sedition Acts even though they are very unpopular with Americans. Video for today, please take a moment to answer these questions. Thank you very much.